Okay, let's continue with this. Yeah. So this is an example. They follow the maybe it's previous example. So we assume that the so illustration we will take this into account. So the loan amount is 120,000. So monthly installment account is 5,500, and the loan term is 4%. So we don't know the rate. So it is assumed that per month the interest rate per month is 0.7769. Yeah. So therefore in year, so annual and nominal annual rate is 0.7769 multiplied by 12, you get 9.32%. So this is implied 0.7769, and per year it is 9.32%. Okay, so therefore right now, let's just take a look at this. So if you take a 1,220,000 loan at a nominal annual rate of 9.32% with monthly compounding, you will repay it in 24 months, 24 monthly payments of 5,500. So as you can see, this column. Okay, so now notes to the schedule. So the monthly interest is, okay, beginning balance 120,000. So multiply with this one, yeah, 120,000, 0.0932 multiply with 120,000. So if you calculate it, so guna dapat tak 120,000 kali dengan 0.0932 dengan 0.932 multiply with 1/12. Sebab dia monthly ya, 9.32 is on monthly basis, annual basis. This is for month check. Sorry ya. Okay, minta maaf. Okay, so if you calculate this, you get 120,000 multiply with 0.0932 times 1/12. So you get here 932,000. Okay, so ending balance is, so out of this 932, 5,500 is your monthly installment. So the interest portion is paid 932, while the principal 4,567. And the ending balance, so 122 minus plus monthly interest minus the installment, 5,500, you get 115,432. Okay, so this is how the amortization of loan is done. Yeah, based on NAR 9.32%. Okay, 922, and the principal amount is 120,000. So what do we compare? So tadi flat rate kan? Flat rate yang 5% tadi, the higher purchase we did just now, 120,000. The interest, we took the loan earlier on, yeah, 120,000. Then with the beginning balance, we ambil plus dengan 12,000 interest. So this 132,000, we spread it across the 2 months and divide it according to the rule of 78 or the rule of sum of digit. So right now, it is slightly different. Yeah, as you can see here, it's slightly different. So the beginning balance is the loan itself. Okay, so let's just see the explanation. So comparing flat rate and effective rate for car loans. So details schedule 3 and 4. So you can scroll back, flip over to schedule 3. So loan amount is 120,000, monthly installment is 5,005, tenure is 24 months. Sama, cuma satu is flat rate, satu effective rate. So although both loans have same repayment terms, the 5% interest rate, 9.35% NAR when calculated on a reducing balance basis. So for schedule 3 is known as flat rate. So flat rate tadi, remember kita ambil the interest plus dengan principal. So schedule 4 is monthly compounding. So nominal annual rate 5%, while this one for schedule 4 we use the compounding monthly of rate 9.3235. Interest charging method, full interest charged upon upfront, while this one is interest charged monthly. So based on the 120,000 loan, so schedule 4 kalau effective rate, that 9.3 dia charge on whatever the beginning balance. Macam schedule 3 flat rate, dia ambil interest plus terus dengan principal and then dia bayar throughout the tenure. Dia spread out during the tenure all the interest rate. Although the interest rate is paid banyak in the beginning, but schedule 4 the interest rate is paid every month. Ya, dia kira separately. Okay, so from APR or NAR of 9.3235, we can work out the effective annual rate of, okay, so this one is just take lah. So EAR yang tadi tu was NAR kan? Nominal annual rate. Equals to 9.3235%. Okay, therefore you can calculate the EAR, effective annual rate. Okay, so take 1 plus, so this is the punya formula tadi nampak macam dia bahagi N kan, but actually you have to divide the interest sahaja. So 0.093235 divided by 12, bring it to the 12th power minus N, minus 1. So if you calculate this, you get 9.73. Although on the slides there is already the figure, so you should try to calculate it and find the actual interest rate. Yeah, so although loan appears cheap at a flat rate of 5%, the actual interest rate is nearly 9.73 per year. So dia dekat advertisement 5%. Tapi cara dia nak compound dia, cara dia nak earn, dia nak kenakan interest tu will be either flat rate or NAR. So NAR, the interest is charged every month. Flat rate, the interest is already charged at the beginning and they spread it out through the loan period. So whichever way you take, the interest is actually 9.73%. Although when we sign it, it is 5%. Yeah. So that's basically the difference between effective rate dengan annual rate. So you can also use this calculator, yeah. You can use your financial calculator. It's just that you have to find gunakan dia calculate the EAR. You have to use the using the ICONV ni. Okay, so kena jadikan dia ICONV, then baru boleh cari EAR. Okay, so let's just try to calculate EAR dulu. Alright, so you can take out your financial calculator. You can use formula, but of course with financial calculator, kita boleh calculate lebih laju. Cuma kita kena tahulah how to calculate it. Okay, so let me just share my. So you can go ahead to calculate it on your own. So let's remember you have to clear the TBM and clear work. Everything you can clear. So first we want to calculate the NAR. So NAR was 5% flat rate kan. Dia punya stated interest rate was 5%. Okay, so 24N, we'll just calculate this together. And then 120,000 negative PV. PV is the loan we get today. And then 0 FV, and then 5,500 is the payment. 5,500 is the payment that we make every month, payment, and then compute IY. Silap ni. So let's just do this again. Let me clear balik 24 That one must be monthly. So 120,000 negative, you dapat PB, and then 0 FB, 5,500 payment, and then compute I over Y. So you get 0.777, so you multiply by 12. So 9.32. Apa tak 9.32? Right? So notice the 9.32 tu, the whatever that we calculate just now, you have to multiply by 12. The number that we got is monthly sebab kita guna 24N. Okay, right. So now we can proceed to calculate the effective annual rate. So clear TBM, everything. So what you need to do here, slightly different. Kita tak guna PV, You just need to, nampak tak dekat bawah ni, dekat above number 2 ada ICONB. Convert. So you have to pick second, ICONB. Dia akan keluar NOM. So this is the nominal rate. So you just put in 9.32. So you follow the slide 3235. And you press enter and arrow down. Arrow down, it will appear EFF. This is what we want to calculate. So before we calculate this, you press another arrow down. Keluar tak? It will keluar C divided by Y. So C divided by Y, you pick 12. This is compounding period, 12. Alright? So therefore, you press the arrow until you come to EFF. There are only 3. There are only NOM, EFF, and C over Y. So now EFF is 0. So you just press compute. 9.32 silap. So let me just do that again. I have to clear my work. So second, icon. Now 9.3. Enter. Enter. 9.7324. So hopefully you followed, and we already did that. So effective rate is the actual annual yield. So you press compute and keluarlah EFF. You need to input the NOM and also C over Y. Is the number of compounding periods per year. So if it's quarterly, then it's 4 times. Right? Then you go back up, or you can turun sampai jumpa EFF, and you just press compute, and you get the EAR of 9.7325. Right? So hopefully semudah follow. Let me just change to the slide. Right? So now kita tengoklah what is the outcome of this. So therefore, flat interest rate understate the true cost of borrowing. Consumers may assume lower interest rate, but the actual cost is much higher. So APR, or nominal annual rate, is legally required to be disclosed in car purchase, hire purchase agreements. Nonetheless, effective annual rate is not disclosed. So kenapa when you wonder kenapa maybe they just put annual rate because of marketing. Effective annual rate is, on the other hand, is not disclosed. So APR is often inserted after the borrower signs. Borrower receive the final stamp copy 3 to 4 weeks later. So what is this? This is not good for consumers, right? So implications is that borrowers may commit a loan without knowing the full cost. So lack of transparency affects informed financial decisions. So now you have financial literacy kan? You are financially literate. Financial literacy tip, what do? You must ask bila you nak beli kereta in the future, you always ask for APR and EAR before signing any loan agreement. So I assume kita semua finance student, so you mesti ada mesti literate lah, financial literacy. You have the knowledge already, knowledge dah ada dah, you dah belajar dah estate planning, you already belajar financial management, you already belajar investment, you already belajar retirement planning. Now you need to know how to use the knowledge. That's where dia ada financial literacy. You know and you need to apply whatever you know. So I wish you nanti bila dah habis belajar, you need to learn tengok balik apa yang kita boleh gunakan untuk advise your parents, your cousins yang nak retire ataupun yang nak beli kereta kan. You must make them aware. Okay? So mungkin lepas tu, tak nak beli kereta. No, it's not that. It's just, we're just saying that if we want to buy a car or we want to commit to a loan, you need to know the real information. Okay, itu saja. Right. So this is the conclusion for the first section. Okay, so next will be the quantitative aspect of credit cards. So I'm sure you've heard about credit cards. Somebody told me dekat TikTok. Okay. Saya tak berapa tahu nak kena TikTok lah. I'm sure you all tahu. There are also individuals who make videos out of in TikTok to advise on how to use credit card. Kalau you dengar podcast pun ada, in TikTok pun ada. So credit card, what is it? You mesti dah tahu lah, credit card ni sebenarnya it is something known as spend now, pay later. Spend now, pay later, which exposes the holder into very large danger lah kalau tak disiplin. So the issue here is not the card, is the user. A common consumption credit, although you have like 10,000 credit limit, it doesn't mean that you can use the 10,000 credit limit. You have to think of how much you have to repay the 10,000. Okay, somebody told me that if you have credit card, when I dengar a podcast, if you want to buy a bag, for example, that cost maybe 2,000 ringgit using your credit card, you need to know you need to have that 2,000 ringgit cash. Then you can use your credit card. Kenapa? Then at the end of the month, when the credit card is charged, you can use that 2,000 to pay back. So meaning that credit card is just an instrument to make your payment easier. So if you want to buy something 2,000, you don't use the cash, right? Kita tak bawa cash to 2,000. We make use of the credit card. So you need to have that amount of money, then you can use credit card. Okay, this is my personal advice if you have credit card in the future. Okay, so credit card allows users to spend before earning. Tak ada duit pun boleh belanja kan? So payments are deferred lewat enabling immediate consumption. So you have that money, imagine if you have 3 cards and each card with 8,000 credit limit. Nobody's stopping you to spend. You can spend up to 24,000 of the bank's money. So but remember lah, nak kena bayar balik. Do we have 24,000? Kan? Mungkin ada, tak ada masalah. So that's why the advice is, if you use credit card, you must make sure you pay fully. Don't pay minimum. Okay, pay penuh. So why is it popular? So immediate access to funds. So if you go through your if you go to mall kan, kita pergi Salway Carnival ke whatever malls, there must be a booth yang sell credit card. It's very easy to get. You ada duit, you ada income, you get it, and it is very easy to use. Flexible repayment, minimum payment options, dia boleh bayar sedikit ataupun boleh bayar penuh. Reward programs, you can also get points. If you use it, you get reward programs. You get to go into, maybe you get access to airport lounge, for example, and also convenient. Now, what is the implication for retirement planning? Okay, so it encourages short-term consumption. If mismanaged, on the other hand, it will lead to high interest debt. So you're paying your income to, you're using your income to pay yang interest tinggi. You tak bayar lagi principal dia. So it's essential to consider in debt management strategies. So especially for companies or for individuals who are retiring. income dah lah tak banyak, income dah tak aktif and you still use credit card. Okay, this is an important part of retirement. So when you read about credit card interest rate is RM1, 1.5% per month. 1%, 1.5% per month refers to a monthly interest rate, meaning 1%, 1.5% of the outstanding balance is charged as interest every month. It is non-annualized. Yeah, so monthly. Yeah. To compare with annual rates, it must be converted into satu nominal interest rate. So nominal annual rate, so 1.5 times 12. So 18% per year. That is more than 1% per month, kan? 1.18%. So to find the effective annual rate, so this is the annual rate, the nominal rate. So we can find using this one, using this formula yang kita baru multiply tadi, calculate tadi to find the actual interest rate. So you just let's just calculate it together. So 1 plus divided by 12. 1.8. So here, see. To the power of 12 minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Okay, actually you are paying 19.56%. Okay, so that's basically how we calculate the actual interest rate. So actual interest rate per month, per year is 19.56. This is very high lah. So dalam advertisement dia kata 18, which is already very high. Yeah, but when you consider the effective annual rate, it is 19.562. Okay, so for example, let's just do this case, Jonathan, and his credit card. So Jonathan maintains a credit card balance of 10,000 ringgit. This means that he owes credit card issuer on the average of 10,000 ringgit at the end of every month. At an effective annual rate of 19.56%, Jonathan will have to pay interest of 1,956 per year. So the credit card balance is only form of debt Jonathan has to take up on the asset side. So dia punya total liabilities is the credit card. On the right? So on the asset side, dia punya total asset Jonathan has 50,000. So dia ada apa? Dia ada fixed deposit. So on the asset side, Jonathan keeps 50,000 in fixed deposit with a commercial bank that continually with annual interest of 3.7%. So Jonathan has no other assets beside the fixed deposits. To summarize, so kita nak cari dia punya net worth lah. This is the beginning. So total asset equals to total liabilities minus net worth. So total asset dia ada berapa tadi? Ada 50,000. Okay, so that's how they come up with this one. 40,000 and total liability, he has 10,000. Okay, plus dengan net worth. So now company net worth ada 40, FD dia 50,000. I'm sorry, 50,000 yeah. So net worth dia 40,000. So I'm sure you've taken personal finance. So you dah belajar lah about total asset dengan net worth of a person. So in a simple equation above shows that Jonathan has a personal net worth of 40,000. Now what if let's say dia bagi situation where Jonathan does not it does nothing about this financial position but just allow the interest on both assets and liabilities to accumulate. So how much should Jonathan's net worth be after 10 years? Okay, so at t equals to 0, let's say the net worth is 40,000. Liability dia is 10,000 and then interest dia is 19.56%. And FD dia ada 50,000. 50,000 and interest 3.7%. Notice tak? The loan has 19% interest, but the FD is growing at 3.7%. Okay, so from here you can tell lah dia punya net worth will be smaller. So assuming that there are no penalty charges, for example, for non-payment for a 10-year period, meaning for the next year kita assume dia hanya bayar interest sahaja. Okay, so here macam mana dia kira? So beginning balance 10,000, dia tak bayar apa-apa ya. So interest is 0.1956 multiply with 10,000. So you get 1,196. And the ending balance is 10,000 plus 1,956. So you get 11,956. And it goes on for the next year, the amount balance is 11,956. At 19.56%, the interest increases about 400 ringgit to 2,339. And the end balance in year 2 is 14,000. So this is 11,956 plus 2,339. And you can do this on your own until year 10. And at the end of year 10, total liability of Jonathan is 59,693. It has ballooned up from 10,000 ringgit. Becomes 59,693. Okay, so now what happened? What about the other FD tadi kan? So FD pula. So now impact, if he says he's not going to settle the payment, assuming there's no legal action taken lagi lah kan, dia masih selamat. So let's say now he has FD. Now he has FD of totaling of 50,000 ringgit. So this one 50,000. And the amount interest is 3.75%. So you take 50,000. Okay, so this one 1,850. So it's 0.037 multiply with the beginning balance of 50,000. So at the end of first year, you will get 51,850. So 50,000, the beginning balance plus the interest earned that year. Alright, so 5185. And you go on to find the second year. Just this also ballooning up lah. But the increase is not as big as the credit card. Right, so at the end of 10 years, the person increase the net total asset becomes 71,900 and 905. So you have total asset. So at T equals to 10, total asset is 71,905. While the total liability is 59,693. What happens to the net worth? So net worth is now 12,000. Yeah, so if you take 71,905 minus the total liabilities, you get net worth of RM 12,202. Notice at T equals to 0, the net worth was, let me see, what was the net worth? Okay, the net worth was 40,000. Now, because they refuse to pay the interest or they refuse to bayar the credit card, the net worth is now has reduced to 12,212. Banyaklah dia reduce. So therefore, net worth of Jonathan decreased by 27,000 in a period of 10 years. So what should we advise him? Therefore, this is very dangerous and also shocking. So instead of seeing net worth growing, the net worth has reduced because of the debt. This sharp erosion of personal net worth happens bila a person not to bother their credit card settlement. Okay, bukannya especially when they have the necessary cash flow. It's not that Jonathan cannot pay. He has RM 50,000 in FD. So he can only take 10%, 10,000 out of this amount, pay off the credit card, and he has no liabilities. Okay. So had Jonathan settled his credit card in full, so 50,000 he take out 50,000, he paid 10,000 the credit card. So therefore FD dia kurang by 10,000, tinggal 40,000. But he has no debt at all. Okay, so had Jonathan settled his credit card in full, assuming all other factors remain unchanged, the effect on his net worth after 10 years would have been as follows. So you use this one is still 0.037, but now your principal is only 40,000. Why? Because 10,000, this is FD, yeah? The 10,000 you have used to pay the credit card. Right. So as there is no debt, the 10,000 has been used to settle the credit card. So the net worth now is 57,524. Okay, so it is lesser than the beginning, but it's still, there's no debt. This amount is about 4 times higher than if Jonathan opted for credit card facilities, not knowing the impact it has on asset erosion. Okay, so this demonstrates that satu, we should not use credit card loan when we have sufficient financial resources to settle the loan. So that's why I gave just now. If you have 2,000 ringgit to spare, for example kan, you have 2,000 ringgit cash and you have been eyeing to buy maybe something yang 2,000 lah. Let's say you nak beli handbag. The cost is 2,000. Okay, so you can use your credit card. Use your credit card to pay 2,000 and at the end of the month, you use this cash to pay your credit card. That's why dia kata kita boleh guna credit card, but make sure you have sufficient financial resources to pay, to settle the loan. If you don't, the loan will balloon up. So although you pay, you use 2,000, then you pay 100 ringgit minimum amount. You have 1,900 ringgit of loan, but itu baru principal and you know that the interest on credit card is 19% per year. So you will balloon up, banyak lah, akan membesar you punya loan tu. Okay, so that is just my an advice. Okay, now before we go, right, so this is how maybe not good lah to use credit card, especially when you don't have enough financial resources. Apa-apa pun. The other day my student was telling me that there's this TikTok kata, what you need to do, you kumpul. So every month, let's say, nanti you nak kerja nanti kan, every month, let's say you pay your bills, telephone bills, you pay your sewa, you pay car loan, right? So all these things you pay using your credit card. But your income, you simpan and at the end of the month, you use your income tadi bayar the credit card. So why you use credit card? Because it's convenient. Because you can add, just now you saw kan dia ada rewards program that you can enjoy later. Again, it all goes back to discipline. If you pay your bills using credit card, but you don't pay your credit card at the end, you find yourself in a big trouble. Okay, so you bayar kereta, for example, you beli petrol, you pay credit card. Tak ada masalah. But when you go home, immediately transfer whatever 50 masuk dalam. Kalau immediately pun tak apa atau tunggu at the end of the month, you kira berapa kali you guna credit card for petrol, multiply 50 ringgit multiply by 6 for example. Then you take from your income 300, pay off your credit card. So you don't need to pay the interest, you pay whatever that you have used. Right? So that is basically an advice from a mother to children. Right, so now cash advance. No, you have probably heard about this. So, kalau kita ada credit card, we can use the card and we can also use cash advance. Meaning kita boleh withdraw cash. Bukan macam kita swipe kita withdraw, keluarkan duit daripada kad tu. So Mr. Dugui took up a cash advance of 3,000 ringgit under his credit card. Okay, this one kita kena go a little bit calculate lah. Kita kena calculate guna right. So take up his credit card statement that reached him about 1 month later showed a charge of 150 ringgit. 150 is for such cash advance. So kalau credit card kita guna swipe tu mungkin bukan mungkin kena bayar interest, but if we use cash dia ada certain some other charge, being the fee charged for such advance. He is also charged 47 ringgit 25 cents. So he was told that 150 charge was a one-time affair. However, 1.5% per month on the amount owing shall be charged monthly. So what is the implied annual charge for using the cash advance facility for 1 year? So if you look at this, here dia ada explanation. So beginning balance, suggested solution. So beginning balance dia ambil berapa ribu tadi? He took out 3,000 ringgit. And he had to pay fee of 150, meaning the total is 3150. So this is 3150. Why is it not 300,000? Because kena bayar fees. Okay, interest dia is 47 ringgit 25 cents. So 0.015 times dengan 303. Okay, so this one is 0.015 per month multiply with 3150. So walaupun kita guna dan we only tukar 3,000, but the amount that they interest dia charge is on the total that we balance. 3,000 plus 150. Okay, so the ending balance, so 3197.25. Nampak tak, the annual rate is 78.9%. Okay, it's very high for 1 month use. Okay, so as we move further, dia punya you can see that annual rate will be reduced. So in the next few slides, they explain how to calculate. So approach 1, you calculate the annualized interest rate. So remember they for 1 month, for 1 year, right? So 12 months. So amount borrowed is 3,000. Advance fee is 150 and the initial debt, total initial debt is 3,150. And at the end of the year, the balance is 3766%. So the annual interest charge has therefore computed as follows. So dia ambil 3766 minus 3,766. So 766.20 divided by total yang kita guna tadi 3,000. So equal to 25.54. That is at the end of the year. So therefore, the annual finance charges are therefore 25.54. Now, the second approach, you can also calculate 1 month. 1 month tu berapa? This is the true cost. Okay, so based on the table, short-term use, you just take 1 month saja. So total finance charge for 1 month is 3.197. So this is untuk month 1. So you take 3197.25 minus 3,000. Okay, you get 197.25. So from here, so RM 197.25, you divide it by the amount that you took out, 3,000. And you get 6.575%. So this is for 1 month. 1 month, 6%. So when you multiply by 12, you get 78.9%. Okay, so this is usage for only 1 month. 6.75. The annualized rate is 78.9. Okay, so even 1 month usage results in very high effective costs. So credit card cash advances are extremely profitable for banks. Similar charges apply to gaming chip purchases at casinos. Something that probably we don't know, kan? So credit cards here, advances are extremely profitable. So you mungkin wonder kenapa bank still ada, kan? Sebab adanya credit card loans. Sebab ada credit card. Okay, so that's why bank still, dia mungkin rendahkan interest kepada FD, rendahkan interest kepada savings, rendahkan interest pada loan. But with credit card, the interest is very high. Okay, right. So now, let's see justification. Why should we still use credit card? Sebab ada credit card, right? Right. So why use credit card despite high cost? Okay, so of course it is much better than if you go to loan sharks, Along. Credit cards are satu, obviously it is legal, it is regulated, is far less risky. Yang high risk is to the customer yang bayar and tak disiplin. Okay, so legitimate reasons for usage. So emergency cash. So we can have, kalau we masuk, kalau lah, in the event that we have to admit to hospital, some hospitals needs to pay deposit. So you can pay deposit using the credit card. You have standby funds, yeah, accessible anytime, unlike formal loan applications. Okay, so practical benefits: carry less cash, safer from theft, and status symbol lah. Ada yang platinum cards. The higher your income is, the higher we'll get the cards. So loan shark operations, on the other hand, are illegal and unregulated. So interest rates are unpredictably high, often involve harassment. So this one versus loan sharks. So at the end of the day, kita perlu ada credit card, cuma we need to use it very well. Yeah, with a lot of discretion. Right. So therefore, AKPK and its role in debt management. So sometimes we have problem, some people ada problem, ataupun sebelum problem pun ada, AKPK ada. So we have to, it prevents business failure, improve financial stability, ensures business continuity. Yeah, reduces financial stress. And then we need to be aware, kena ada knowledge, so dia will provide lah pendidikan keuangan. You can dia prepares ya, knowledge, modul pendidikan, bahan pembelajaran dan tip tentang penggunaan kredit card, kredit dan pengurusan wang yang betul. Okay, so you adalah kat sini. So kalaupun kita tak sit for this class, you still have places to ask about money management. Okay, so these are some of the roles of AKPK that you can read on your own. So to proactively ensure that household sector continues to be resilient by providing an avenue for individual borrowers. Right, so let me just tutup dulu. To achieve this objective, AKPK's mission is to make prudent financial management a way of life for all Malaysians. So you need to be literate, financial literate. You need to know how to use your income. You need to know how to use your knowledge that you have. So you are blessed lah, ada financial literacy. So these are all free of charge, yeah? Financial education, counselling and advice, and debt management program. So in the future, you can, if you are on the BaFin committee, probably you can call AKPK for sharing session. That's just an advice, okay? A suggestion. Right, so that is it for this chapter. So inshallah tomorrow we shall try these questions, chapter end questions. Okay, so do you have any, can you all follow, hopefully you can follow the lecture in calculating the EAR, whether using the formula or using the calculator. Okay, ada juga formula and then boleh guna calculator as well. And need to know how to amortize the loan lah, macam mana the loan is being paid sampai the end of the settlement. Okay, so that's it for chapter 10, chapter 11 if I'm not mistaken. Chapter 10. So we have one more chapter, chapter 11, before we proceed to the next part, before we end the semester. So for chapter 11, inshallah next week we will have presentation, right? So I will try to come up with a recorded lecture. So in between, during the time minggu depan ke, I'll try to have it early so that you can watch it in your free time for preparation for your final test. I will give you details of the final test once it is I have the details. Okay, so inshallah by today lah dah ada detail, cuma saya kena confirm the chapters that are included. Alright, so yeah, let me just change to the website. Okay, so there are 28 of you in here. I can't remember. I do remember how many of you are in the class here. So hopefully everybody is in class. Please attend your class. Right? So I think that's it. Do you have any questions? Kalau tak ada soalan, if you have any other questions, as usual, you can address it later in our Telegram group. So I think that's it for today. I'll see you guys and girls tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll just share how to calculate the questions, the chapter end question. I hope you have gone through the multiple choice questions that I shared last week with regards to chapter 9, chapter 10. Chapter 9, yes, sorry, I need confused. Right? So I think thank you for your responses. Please do your revision, necessary revision, and also the to prepare lah, and also prepare for your presentation. I will try to come up with the schedule. Kalau tak cukup masa, then we will when tak cukup masa baru kita proceed kalau perlu masa extra. Okay, so right now saya assume 3 jam tu cukup untuk present everyone in the class, every group in the class. Okay, itu sahaja. That's it. Good to see everyone. Take care of yourselves. Okay, you can go have lunch. Right, please don't forget to mark your attendance at your future and also recite your surah wal-as and tasbih kifarah. Alright, Assalamualaikum. Stay cool.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor. Baik.